Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Arizona. So today we have a special treat for you. We have a team from Mesa Public Schools Red Mountain Center for Early Education that are going through the LEAP program with Nancy Burdick from the Pele Center. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Nancy, to do your introduction to the state, and then we'll ask some questions of the team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy Burdick from the Pele Center at the University of Denver, and I have been lucky enough to be working with this team, this entire team that you see on the screen, because everyone is committed to it, from Kathy, their principal and director, to everyone who works in the classroom, plus their instructional coaches and everything. I am very excited to hear what they have to say today. This team has shown a great initiative in terms of implementing the LEAP approach, LEAP elements, LEAP components, all to improve the inclusive experience of every child in their class, both those identified with and without disabilities. It's been a pleasure to work with them. I never know what I'm going to see when I come back, because they don't just stop where when we stop talking, they continue to analyze and work about what's happening and what is needed in their classroom. So
The first question we have for our panel is, what do you like about the LEAP program so far? And feel free to unmute and take turns answering.
Well, Tammy, I'll just jump in. What I really love and appreciate about the LEAP program is that it takes so many of the practices and strategies that we're using in high quality inclusion and implementing inclusive services with our students, and it kind of rolls it all up into a really great program for everyone to learn from. So the resources, the coaching, the overall sense of that everyone is included, everyone can be included. There really isn't a student that can be excluded or should be excluded from our program, and to have that support. Nancy has been amazing at coming in and working with our staff. I forget she doesn't work here, like she's just jumped in and she's just part of our team, and we just love having her. Look forward every month to her visits. And so we're, I think, really blessed to have this team around one classroom this year to really build in these best practices and supports. So excited.
Thanks, Kathy. Anyone else want to share?
I would just like to say that um, when we went to the training originally, I was so excited, and it was mind blowing for me because my background is working with students with autism, preschool students. And so much of what they said was like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And then all of a sudden she was like, we can do this in inclusion. And it was mind blowing. And I was so excited. I'm so excited about the components, the resources that are available. There's an amazing their packet of resources is amazing. Nancy coming in and working. She's so specific about certain things that really helps us to think and to really move the program forward. It's taking any program and trying to make it its best. And it's been very exciting to see. So I appreciate Nancy and her enthusiasm and the way she has come in and really helped us with this. And the program itself is amazing. I'm so excited about it.
I really like that. I feel like there's been a lot of learning through this. Every single time we meet with Nancy, she always has so much to share with us and so many ways for us to improve. Like, she's so full of knowledge, and like the learning and growing just always continues and it never stops. So it's really great to always be learning new things from her.
I love the LEAP program. I think what from the beginning of the school year, considering this is a new program, and Allie here, the gen ed teacher, she's a new teacher, and to see how much all these resources and all the input that we've been given, and it's the input that we work together on improving how to make this classroom run so much more efficient, and work out the kinks, and having collaboration, and then having Nancy come in and very encouraging. It's all just positive things that that we can work on together and improve step by step. I mean, and to have the organization that it has to look at different points within their program and know even what we're doing now, we've improved so much, but there's so much more the next step. So, and it's worked in a way where if you're not where you need to be right now, you'll continue to work on it and work on those kinks. And then you move on to the next step and then the next step. And to see typical peers and children with disabilities, um, how that itself works those kinks out, and then we can come in and collaborate more on how we can make it better.
Miss Teresita, she stole the words right from my mouth. But just to help support that, just to have that collaboration as a team, it's so important to have. And I think we have a really strong team, but this just put emphasis on how much more that we can be doing for each other, for our students, and just to further support them in that area is just really nice to have. And then also have that outside view, being able to come in, here's other ideas that we can work with and try, because kiddos at this age are so fun, but what works one day they may not want another day, and it just gives us tons of ideas to work and just really have our whole little toolbox that we.
Thank you so much. Have there been any challenges since you started this training that you'd like to share with everybody that you've overcome?
I would say coming, really seeing and breaking things down further, just to how we can help each individual kiddo. Being an inclusion class, we do have many different levels. So how can we meet the need of each student while keeping everyone on that same level of need? And how do I want to phrase it? To, some kiddos might need a broken down schedule even more than the main schedule we have, but being able to meet their need while also having the other things met as well, and meeting them at that level, I think is the challenge of what needs to be made or created. But the great thing with it, with us having so many hats, some things LEAP has already had and they have it already made, and it's like there's a great resource, or here's how we could tweak it to help match ours. So that's been really great to have.
I echo that with you, Caitlin, because I see when I come in through and the meetings and the observations, and when we come together to collaborate, that real, like, we establish a routine, and then those routines within the routines, and then when another student needs the routine within the routine within the routine, and just watching that process to meet those challenges, and when the challenge arises, that keep going back to a strength of that IEPM, that guidebook manual, and being able to get those answers. We don't have to, Nancy's always on, back call, right? And I've called her several times, but, that we have a place to go in between those visits, and that we're not relying on her physical presence, but the structure of the program to guide us in our work.
That we have as a team on the day after the observation, and how you hold space for that, Nancy, and I'm so thankful for that and appreciative that your guiding questions give space for the team to really think deeply about the work that's been done since your last visit and the new strategies that have been implemented, and to really just take time, because that reflection is so important, and what's worked and what hasn't, and where the team feels that might be the next important direction to move in.
Thank you so much. So you've mentioned a couple of things in the questions that the next two questions I'm going to ask. So I'm just going to ask them both together so you can elaborate a little bit more on these two aspects. But we were wondering what aspects of the LEAP program that you've implemented in your classroom, and have you noticed any changes in the classroom since you've started using those aspects of the LEAP program? So I'd like to hear more about what exactly is happening in the classroom and how it's all going for the students.
She's given us lots of tools, like Teresita said. We have like a whole circle time, and there's like an easel that we have with poster boards for each thing that we do, so the kids have like a big visual of what's next, and it helps like remind them and kind of understand their day. And we do a schedule. We have jobs throughout all of circle time, so the kids are very involved, and they always like have something to do. So we have like a kid to count the friends, somebody to check the weather. So yeah, it gets them very involved in their learning. And um, we rearranged the classroom too, like Teresita said, and like that's been a huge help also. It's just really affected the way that the kids go throughout their day. We are able to think about things like, oh, blocks are an issue during circle time, so we moved them over to the side, and things are just like going so much better now. So it's really, really good.
Another thing that to elaborate on that, the circle time is very interactive. So as it's not just the teacher and the kids singing and getting involved, but the the um, the idea is that other people in the classroom can do what the teacher's doing. So the child can hold up um, could talk to, be the job could be, where are you going to go during center time, and every child will get an opportunity. So then you get that peer interaction that you're looking for. So and that's a big piece of LEAP, is using the children, um, whether they have a disability or IEP or not, to interact in a way that it's just part of what you do. And that's I feel, one of the biggest components of the LEAP program, whatever the need is for that particular child. So that right there is what we're seeing more and more of. So the easel allows the student to go up and show what are the rules. The student goes up and shows what is next. Did we do circle time? Did we do small group? Those interactive verbal interactions with their peers. So the teacher is not the one.
I think it also has really supported our students to also have them understand of the day. Some, for new ones, this is the first time leaving mom and dad, and that's really hard, and they just want to go home or they miss them. And so it kind of tells them where they are in their day. And usually they can tell you, right, they can go right back to the board and they have that visual. Or if we're in circle time and we have it, that much more broken down, what does that kind of look like for their day? It helps them kind of understand that concept of time that we know it's definitely difficult for them to do right now. I also think it has helped with kiddos that might need a little bit more help with different transitions, or they're wanting to play right away. They're so excited they have their center they want to go to, but it kind of can help guide them of, oh, you know what, we are here in the day. We're on, say number 3. You're really excited for number 7, but we have to back up and go through these. Okay.
I'm going to hop on and say that honestly, one of my favorite things that I have seen in the classroom is what Caitlin's talking about, those transitions and the level of participation that the kiddos have one with another, disability or not. You really go into that classroom, and with the LEAP model, you don't see the differences. You see the fluidity, you see the movement, you see the kids helping each other and learning to help each other. I get called less and less for the behaviors for transitions or difficulties, because the way that the LEAP model is designed is to facilitate those changes in those learning. And you see that the kids do pick up on it and start to remind each other and help each other and be able to sit longer. Little kiddos don't always know how to sit, especially in the current circumstances with the world. They're coming home, they're coming to school for the first time from being at home for probably the majority of their life, and they've never really left mom or dad. And so we're seeing different behaviors, and with the LEAP model, it naturally is addressing a lot of those behaviors. So I can see that the way that their day is set up and that flow that they have, it naturally does meet their need to understand what's going on and what comes next, and to have no real differentiation between this kid is a sped kid, this kid's a general kid. We don't we don't have to look at it like that. We look at everyone's all in there together, and it's so inclusive and amazing to see the progress of the kiddos, both individually but also as a group, to consider how they kind of started the year, and you see how their little personalities are developing, but they're going with the program and it's become a part of them.
I really echo your words, Esther. my favorite part of watching this all unfold is that we're just building really good systems and strategies for kids. It's not about building systems and strategies for one student with autism to function well in a classroom. It's not anything about that. It's just looking at all student needs. All 3 and 4 year olds have needs, and how we're going to take all kids wherever they're at and move them forward together. And it's just about good strategies, good teaching strategies for all kids, and all kids are thriving because of it.
Wow, that was so amazing to hear directly from you and how this experience is going. Is there anything else before we end our time together that you want to tell all your colleagues in Arizona about LEAP?
I would love to say sign up. Sign up as soon as you can. This sign up, learn more about LEAP, and implement the strategies. They'll work for your kids. Your kids will thrive.
Thanks. Any last words from anyone else on the team? I see you all nodding along with Kathy. It was very well said. Thanks, Kathy.